Welcome back to my channel, Mr. Twilight. Today, we're embarking on a journey to one of the most eerie and mesmerizing places in Arizona, the Superstition Mountains, also known as the Mountains of Superstition. Just from the name alone, you can probably sense the chilling aura that surrounds this place. Many claim that the Superstition Mountains are filled with curses, ghosts, and monsters. Some even call it the scariest place in America. For centuries, these mountains have been shrouded in legend. Stories of the elusive lost Dutchman's mine, the Valley of Death, phantom waves, wandering spirits of Native Americans, and much more. But is the Superstition Mountains just another tourist attraction? Why does it have such a terrifying reputation? If you're ready, follow me, your guide, into the heart of the Mountains of Superstition. We'll dive deep into the myths, analyze the stories, and uncover the spine-chilling aspects of this mysterious place. Get ready for an unforgettable experience. According to various sources, the name Superstition is deeply tied to the legends of indigenous tribes, such as the Apache and Pima. These tribes once referred to the mountain region with folk names meaning land or the domain of the gods' wrath. A legend that natives built in a bottomless cave within the mysterious world to unleash spirit disaster, an entrance to a mysterious under the mountains. Ancients believe that the god's wrath be a wrath. This fear persisted for generations, turning the mountains into a no-go zone unless survival demanded it. When Europeans arrived, they were captivated by the eerie stories and dubbed the area Superstition, a reference to both the indigenous people's fear and the mountain's enigmatic nature. Over time, the name Superstition Mountains became widely known, etching itself into the minds of treasure hunters and thrill seekers drawn to its mysteries. No discussion of the Superstition Mountains is complete without mentioning the lost Dutchman's mine, one of America's most famous legends. The tale speaks of a vast, hidden gold deposit within the mountains, allegedly discovered by a German man and mistakenly referred to as a Dutchman due to a mix-up with the word Dutch. The story often revolves around Jacob Waltz, who was rumored to have found a rich gold vein before passing away in the late 19th century. On his deathbed, he reportedly whispered vague clues about the treasure's location. However, the perilous terrain, coupled with the mountain's reputation for supernatural occurrences, meant no one could ever pinpoint the exact spot. Since then, countless fortune seekers, including miners, adventurers, and curious tourists, have ventured into the Superstition Mountains in search of the legendary gold. Some claim to have seen carved markings and strange symbols, but just as they were on the brink of discovery, they either vanished without a trace or returned in a state of sheer terror. This legend has only fueled the Superstition Mountains' eerie allure. Many thrill seekers have tried to solve the mystery, only to meet grim fates. Alongside the legend of the lost mine, numerous curses and ghostly tales surround the Superstition Mountains. Some theories suggest the treasure belonged to the Apache people or was a hidden stash from Spanish explorers during Dorado's era, and that anyone victim to the mountain spirits have reported chilling expeditions into the survivors of Supermountain spirits survive victim, and that anyone attempting to steal us during Coronado's era, including unseen footsteps following them at night, even when the desert was silent, flickering torches appearing on precarious rock ledges, only to vanish when approached, floating black smoke in the air, resembling the restless spirits of those who perished. Stories of Native American warrior spirits riding on horseback along the peaks, guarding the treasure. Skeptics argue that extreme desert heat and exhaustion can induce hallucinations. However, for those who have experienced these phenomena firsthand, they firmly believe that the Superstition Mountains conceal an eerie, otherworldly power, one that is ready to consume any intruder. Myas Taraugas Dias Aprances, tragic fates of explorers. It's no coincidence that the Superstition Mountains have earned a reputation as a dangerous zone. The harsh desert climate, treacherous terrain, venomous creatures, and wild animals pose very real threats. However, what truly fuels its eerie legend are the numerous bizarre disappearances whispered from generation to generation. A tourist group planned to camp at the foot of the mountains for a few nights. Then, they vanished without a trace. When rescue teams arrived, they found the tents and personal belongings untouched, but the campers were nowhere to be found. An elderly couple, determined to hunt for the lost Dutchman's mine using a patched-together map, left their car at a nearby trailhead. Months later, scattered bones were discovered, believed to be theirs, but the cause of death remained a mystery. A solo mountaineer sent a postcard to his family before his expedition, writing, "I'll return with good news." He was never seen again. No body, no clues, only silence. In some cases, the evidence suggests natural disasters or accidents. Yet, the inconsistencies and missing details have only fueled countless conspiracy theories, solidifying the Superstition Mountains' status as one of the scariest places in America. The Shadow by the Cliff, a team of investigative journalists, once captured a blurred image of a shadowy figure standing at the edge of a deep canyon, as if watching them from afar. But when they approached, the figure vanished instantly. What made it even more unsettling was the sheer drop. The area had no trails or ledges where a person could simply disappear. Years later, an amateur filmmaker returned to the same spot, hoping to record paranormal activity. One night, his camera caught something eerie. The sound of the wind howling violently, his own heartbeat pounding rapidly. Then suddenly, from the distance, a long, chilling wail echoed through the canyon. The camera shook, likely from fear, before the footage abruptly cut to black. Though he left unharmed, he saw that something was guarding that abyss, something watching from the darkness. Experiences of ghost hunters and spiritual believers using magnetic field meter (EVP) recorder. Like many haunted locations, the Superstition Mountains attract both amateur and professional ghost hunters. Armed with electromagnetic field at EM meters, EVPs and electronic voice phenomena recorders, and infrared cameras, they venture deep into the desolate trails in search of paranormal activity. Many claim to have detected anomalous EMF readings in certain areas, as if an invisible energy source was interfering with their devices. Some teams have left EVP recorders running overnight, only to later hear faint whispers, heavy breathing, or distant, unexplained screams upon playback. Skeptics argue that these sounds could simply be echoes of the wind, but spiritual believers insist they are the voices of lost souls, trapped by the mountain's curse. UFO legends and an interdimensional gateway. Some theories go beyond ghosts and lost gold, suggesting that the Superstition Mountains may also be a hotspot for UFO activity and extraterrestrial phenomena. Occasionally, locals report strange lights streaking across the peaks, hovering silently in the night sky. Some speculate that the mountains could hide a four-dimensional portal, a rift connecting to another realm. Others believe the site is being used for top-secret government experiments, disguised under the mountain's ominous reputation. Of course, mainstream scientists dismiss these wild theories. But with the mountain's long history of mysteries, the Superstition Mountains remain a fertile ground for conspiracy and speculation. Terran Cielati and Dalia Lakavdagas, people often say, in the Superstition Mountains, nature can kill you long before you ever encounter a ghost. Indeed, Arizona's harsh climate poses a serious challenge. Daytime temperatures can soar to extreme highs, only to plunge dramatically at night. Water is scarce, and the rocky, dusty landscape, combined with the possibility of sudden sandstorms, turns this place into a true survival test. The region's twisting trails, deep valleys, and steep cliffs have left many hikers stranded. A single misstep can send someone slipping into a canyon or wandering off course, unable to find their way back to the parking area. This is why the Superstition Mountains have one of the highest rates of wilderness rescues in the region. However, when people go missing, the stories often get wrapped in supernatural rumors. Claims that spirits guarding the lost gold led them astray. In reality, the main causes are poor navigation, lack of survival skills, and inadequate preparation. That said, fear itself can be a deadly factor. Panic and disorientation in such a vast, unforgiving landscape often lead to tragic outcomes. Adding to the natural dangers, Arizona's desert is home to rattlesnakes, scorpions, and venomous spiders. Many tourists, too focused on searching for paranormal evidence, forget basic safety precautions: sturdy boots, protective clothing, and a first aid kit. A snake bite, especially far from medical help, can be fatal. In other words, before worrying about the mountain's ghosts, it's the real-life desert predators that you should fear first. Fascinating and mysterious pieces of the puzzle: Weaver's Needle, the sky-suing needle. One of the most iconic landmarks of the Superstition Mountains is Weaver's Needle, a towering, razor-sharp rock pillar that is often described as the soul of the range. According to legend, Weaver's Needle serves as a crucial marker for locating the lost Dutchman's mine. It is said that when the sunlight hits a specific crevice, the shadow it casts forms a signal, the very clue that Jacob Wald supposedly used to recognize the mine's location. Even today, treasure hunters scramble to climb the peak, meticulously examining the cliffs for hidden clues. But instead of gold, most find only danger. Yet another near-death experience reinforcing the mountain's title as the scariest place in America. Skeptics argue that these sounds could simply be echoes of the wind, but spiritual believers insist they are the voices of lost souls, trapped by the mountain's curse. Goldfield Ghost Town, a town frozen in time. Nestled near the Superstition Mountains is Goldfield Ghost Town, a once thriving gold mining town of the 19th century that has long since been abandoned, earning it the status of a true ghost town. Visitors can step back in time, exploring its historic buildings, old saloons, and even a former jailhouse. Naturally, ghost stories abound. Tales of restless cowboy spirits and vengeful miners who met tragic ends. The eerie blend of an abandoned Wild West town against the ominous silhouette of the Superstition Mountains only enhances its haunted reputation. It's no wonder that countless ghost hunting YouTube channels flock here, eager to capture paranormal encounters on camera. The Peralta Stones, mysterious carved rocks adding to the intrigue are the Peralta Stones, a set of engraved rock slabs bearing crosses, mule carvings, and cryptic symbols. Many believe these stones are a hidden treasure map, left behind by the Peralta family, a Mexican mining dynasty rumored to have once extracted gold from the Superstition Mountains. Though no one has successfully deciphered the markings, the stones have only deepened the mystery, fueling the imaginations of those obsessed with lost relics and ancient secrets. Exploring the unknown, do you dare? If you're considering a trip to the scariest place in America, Make sure it's not just a spur-of-the-moment decision. Before venturing into the Superstition Mountains, here are some essential precautions. Research the terrain and weather conditions thoroughly. Know what you're getting into. Carry a detailed map and navigation tools to avoid getting lost. Bring plenty of water, food, and proper hiking gear, sturdy boots, hat, flashlight, etc. Never go alone. Travel with at least one companion, preferably an experienced group. Pay attention to warning signs. Stay away from restricted areas and avoid wandering into hazardous terrain. Respect nature and local culture. Do not disturb historical sites or attempt illegal treasure hunting. For thrill seekers, camping overnight in designated areas near the Superstition Mountains can be an unforgettable experience and a test of nerves. Imagine this: a sky full of stars, flickering campfire flames, and the eerie whisper of the wind through the canyons. In the distance, the howl of a wild animal breaks the silence. Every rustling sound, every gust of wind sends chills down your spine. You can't help but wonder, was that just the wind or footsteps behind me? Many horror-focused YouTube channels capture this exact atmosphere, filming their overnight stays, only to freak out when they accidentally catch a faint, glowing light on the cliffs. It could be nothing more than a fellow hiker's flashlight, but in the darkness, your mind will inevitably conjure up something far more supernatural. So do you have what it takes to explore the Superstition Mountains? The dangerous beauty and dark side of the Superstition Mountains above all. The Superstition Mountains stand as a symbol of the collision between breathtaking nature and spine-chilling legend. This mountain range dares explorers with its treacherous terrain and unforgiving climate, yet lures them in with the promise of the lost Dutchman's hidden gold and some of the most terrifying paranormal experiences in America. Do you believe in curses? Then every step will send chills down your spine, and every strange sound will fill you with fear. Do you believe in science? Even so, you can't deny that the harsh reality of this place is enough to push people to the brink of survival. Are you an adventurer, drawn to the unknown? The Superstition Mountains will test both your courage and caution like nowhere else. At first glance, the Superstition Mountains may seem like nothing more than a ruggedly beautiful desert landscape, with towering peaks and endless, sun-scorched horizons. But beneath that beauty lies a web of mysteries, legends, disappearances, and an unshakable sense of unease that make it truly worthy of its nickname, the Scariest place in America. Because here, it's not just the extreme conditions that pose a threat. It's the stories, the unsolved vanishings, and the unexplainable chills that turn this mountain range into a dark and haunting enigma. If you've ever dreamed of a real life expedition where every step could lead to a shocking discovery or cost you your life, then the Superstition Mountains are calling. But before you answer, ask yourself, are you truly ready to face the darkness that lurks behind these mountains? Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I'll see you in the next mysterious adventure. And remember, if you ever visit the Superstition Mountains, stay cautious, stay safe, sweet dreams.